While we're busy working, none of us ever thinks of getting old. You are so busy with the hustle that you don't even see yourself aging at all. You know, you see other people aging, but not you. And then suddenly you wake up and you're old. Hello friends. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. My name is Moile and hello, welcome friends. On this channel we talk all about being senior women, retirees, our travels, our health, wealth, children, and everything in between. So I will be sharing my journey living abroad and being back on the African continent in Zimbabwe. I will share with you my journey in developing my garden at this beautiful place that I live in, and my travels. I do love to travel in and around the country, so I will be sharing that with you. And in this journey, it is us lifting each other, helping each other, so we go through our sunset years in joy and peace. So welcome. Let's get on with today's conversation. If you have children, you have been raising them, and they are all grown, they have left your home. If you have a spouse, it now is just you and your spouse. And if you have a big home, just the two of you in that big house. It is just the two of you in that big house, and the children are beginning to have their own lives away from you. You're lucky if they are going to be close to you, because they may have jobs that take them out of the country that you are based in, out of the state or province that you are living in, and then you find yourself all alone. And that becomes a real painful reality, that suddenly you are on your own. When you left the country of your birth, or that country that you call home, whether you were born there or you lived there, and you got to be attached to that country. When you left that place, you were young, full of dreams, full of ambition, ready to conquer the world. The thought of getting old was not in the forefront. None of us ever thought about that. We were busy hustling, busy raising kids, focusing on careers, focusing on our new lives as married couples. There was no thought of one day I'm going to be old and maybe alone, with no spouse, with no partner, with no children, with no friends. You look around today, most of the people that you grew up with are either away from the country of origin, the way you lived, or they are passed on. They've passed on. You look around, the family that you grew up around, the same thing. They have either left that country or they've passed on. Things are different at this stage in your life. I'm in my 60s now. I grew up to be a young adult in this country, surrounded by lots of love, lots of family, lots of friends. I started my career in this country, where I am finally back. But I left, and I raised my children away from family, from close family and friends. It was rough. It was a rough adjustment for me, but I acclimatized to living abroad. But part of me never left. part of me never left this continent. Part of me never left Zimbabwe. So it was in my mind from the beginning that one day in my lifetime, I would go back to the country where I was born in. In my language, I say, kuneru kuvuti wangu, where my umbilical cord is buried. So I came back. But for most of us, the thought is there, the ability or the willingness to take the plunge, take a leap of faith, and do it becomes the challenge. We have mortgages that we are paying. We have children and grandchildren that are surrounding us. We've made new friends. Our careers are going very well. We have secured homes, businesses, wherever that may be. So the thought is there, the desire is there. But then, do you have the courage to take that leap and go back? Here's what I believe. This is not for everybody to be able to just take off and leave wherever you are. But if you have the desire to do it, I would say preparation would have been your biggest friend. Preparing your mind, preparing the future that you think you would have back in the motherland. Nobody has a crystal wand to say your future is going to go this way or go that way. Things do happen in people's lives. You fall sick, you lose a job, you lose the ability to take care of yourself. So many things happen. But planning for that time is not a bad idea. So most of us fall short on that plan. And I think the biggest challenge that most of us have had is we lose that connection. We don't visit, maybe because of the status that we've had in the countries we've migrated to. If maybe at that time your papers are not in order, you can't move, you can't travel, so you're trapped. By the time you are able to do that travel, that movement, you're tired, you're old, you are sick, you have so many other things that you feel are binding you to the place that you are. You know, I have children and grandchildren. I have 10 grandchildren. I love them dearly. This is why I do a lot of traveling back and forth between continents. I go to see them, but they all know that Gogo is going to pack her bags when her vacation is over with us and go back to her home. It is something that I talked with my children, and when they were young, I don't think they ever listened to it carefully. They heard me talk about going back home, but they never thought it would happen. And when finally we retired, my husband and I, in 2020, they were prepared, maybe not fully prepared for our departure, but they knew the time had come. So preparation of the mind, preparing your children, preparing your spouse, keep communicating about the move if you want to do it. But I couldn't emphasize enough that keeping in touch with that world does make a difference. It makes the transition easier. So for some people, if that travel wasn't possible, then it really becomes a challenge to think that you can reintegrate into that environment. Bear in mind, when we moved to these different countries, we did not know anything about the spaces that we were moving in, other than what we were reading from the books and seeing on TV. And finally, to be in that place, and now you start to learn about the place and adjust to the way of living. It was hard. It's the same thing if you are detached from the place of your birth or the place that you grew up in. If you don't go and you don't visit enough, when you finally decide to go and live there, it is a totally different place. And some of the people that have tried to do it, they have failed because they see themselves different and the place is different. So that readjustment becomes a challenge. So we all had this idea, oh, I will work a little bit, a couple of years and go back. But time waits for no person. Time keeps moving. And before you know it, you are in the diaspora for 20, 30 years. And if you haven't been visiting, you feel like you're a total stranger. So for myself, the transition was not that difficult because I had kept in touch with Zimbabwe. I was also able to travel back and forth and see for myself. And I have been able to adjust to the different environment that I find myself in. But I am fully conscious that I am not in Europe, I am not in North America. I am in Zimbabwe. I am in Africa. Development is slow here. Things are not as fast-paced as they are in the developed countries, which I love very much. Thank you. I like the slow pace. I am in no hurry to go anywhere. I wake up and do exactly what I want to do at my own time. So I am grateful for being able to have set myself up in this country. But things are a little slower, and if you're going to be looking for a little Europe, a little America in Zimbabwe or anywhere in Africa, you will come out disappointed. Does that mean that you have to accept mediocrity? No. Does that mean that you have to compromise your health? No. If you have health challenges and the best place for you to be is Europe or America, do you? And that is okay. I try to live every day as best as I can, and I am grateful to the Creator for good health, for good mental health and physical health. I don't take it for granted. I do hope that the systems in this country get better. The health care system improves, the educational system, and all the other systems in general. I do hope to see improvement in my lifetime. But in the meantime, I take what I have, my good health, my home, the gardening that I enjoy, the traveling that I'm doing, and enjoy every single day, because tomorrow is not promised to anybody. If I didn't make this move, that yearning, that longing would have been eating at my heart, would have been gnawing at my heart. I would not have been happy. I know the loneliness that North America has, especially in the wintertime. You are all closed up in the house. It's too cold to get out, to be out there. I am scared of falling. I don't enjoy the snow anyway. I enjoy watching it from the corner of the window. So the loneliness would have really, really depressed me. The friends are very distant. They are there, but everybody's busy. So I would have found myself having to continue to go to work maybe. And truly, there's no way I would have been at home if I had stayed in North America, because I would have had to continue to pay the bills, to pay the rent, to pay the mortgage, to see and make sure that my health insurance policy is still on by keeping a job. So I am grateful. I don't take this for granted that I've been able to live in this country and at the same time being able to go back and forth between the continents and see my children and grandchildren. So if you ever are going to think of coming back, I think the biggest thing that one needs to do is to plan about it, to make sure that you keep in touch with a place or places that you want to retire to, so that you're not a stranger, so that everything is not a challenge when you get there. You look after yourself the best way you know how, and when health challenges come in, you put yourself in that position where you are able to get the best care. And that might mean staying abroad. No judging about the people that have chosen to come home, and no judging about the people who have chosen to stay abroad. You do you. In the meantime, while some of us are here, we will share the life that we live, and hopefully you can enjoy that part of Africa from what we share with you. I hope if the desire is there, you would get the courage to be able to do it in your lifetime. In the meantime, I say take care of yourself wherever you are. Enjoy every day, enjoy every moment, and keep watching my channel. Subscribe, comment, share your thoughts about this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.